My beloved child, listen closely, because this message was not sent to everyone. It was whispered directly to you. On January 22nd, a divine shift is unfolding, and Archangel Michael stands beside you right now, sword lowered, wings open, watching to see if you will receive this in silence and faith. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation. What you are about to step into carries power, protection, and promise, but it also carries a warning that must not be ignored. Hear this carefully. You are the chosen one in this moment. Not because you are better than others, but because your spirit has been tested, refined, and prepared. Archangel Michael says you are about to become healthy and rich, not just in money, but in strength, clarity, peace, and divine alignment. Your body is about to respond to heaven. Your mind is about to be lifted. Your resources are about to multiply. But this blessing is fragile in its early stage, like a flame that must be shielded from the wind. This is why the warning is clear. If you tell anyone too early, you risk losing it all. Beloved, this is not about fear. This is about wisdom. Not everyone claps when you are rising. Not everyone prays for your healing. Some people smile while secretly doubting what God is doing in you. Archangel Michael is revealing that silence, right now, is your shield. What God is building in the unseen must remain protected until it is fully established. January 22nd marks the opening of a divine window. A window where your health begins to realign, where long-standing fatigue, stress, and heaviness start to lift, where your body receives instructions from heaven to recover, restore, and renew. Some of you will notice subtle changes, better sleep, clearer thoughts, sudden motivation, or a sense of strength returning. Do not question it. Do not announce it. Receive it quietly. At the same time, wealth is being positioned. Not right, not stolen, not first. Position. Opportunities will begin to show themselves. Ideas will feel sharper. Doors that were closed will suddenly feel unlocked. But Archangel Michael says the enemy listens closely when blessings are spoken too soon. This is why discretion is obedience right now. My child, understand this truth. Not everyone needs to know what God promised you. Jesus himself remained silent before his breakthrough moments. David was anointed king but waited in silence. Silence does not delay the blessing, it protects it. Archangel Michael is saying that this divine secret will keep your blessing safe forever if you honor it. This does not mean isolation. It means discernment. Speak to God. Speak to heaven. Speak in prayer. But do not cast this pearl before those who cannot carry its weight. There is also a test attached to this message. The test is simple, but powerful. Can you trust God enough to stay quiet? Can you resist the urge to explain, to prove, to announce? Those who pass this test step into accelerated favor. Those who fail often experience unnecessary delays. You may already feel it, an excitement mixed with caution. A joy that feels too sacred to shout about. That feeling is the Holy Spirit confirming His word. Archangel Michael is near you now, guarding what is yours before it even manifests. Your healing will not come with noise. Your wealth will not come with chaos. It will come with peace, with order, with divine timing. And when it is time to speak, heaven itself will announce it through results, not words. Until then, remain grounded. Stay thankful. Continue doing what you have been doing in faith. Drink water with intention. Rest when your body asks. Be diligent with your work. Small obedient steps are creating massive unseen movement. This message found you because your spirit was ready to hear it. Many would have ignored it. Many would have mocked it. But you stayed. You listened. That alone tells Archangel Michael that you can be trusted. Remember this: secrecy now leads to security later. Silence now leads to celebration later. What God is about to give you does not need validation. It needs protection. Receive this quietly, guard it faithfully, and watch what unfolds. My precious one, take a deep breath as you receive this next layer, because Archangel Michael is now speaking about what happens after January 22nd begins its work in you. Many people think blessings arrive loudly, with fireworks and instant proof. But heaven often works the opposite way. What is happening to you will feel quiet on the outside, yet unstoppable on the inside. This is how you will know it is truly from God. Archangel Michael says the first sign of this shift will be an inner correction. Your thoughts will begin to change without effort. Worry will no longer sit as heavy as it once did. Old fears about your body, your future, and your finances will start losing their grip. You may not even realize it at first. One day you will notice that something that used to trigger panic no longer controls you. That is not accidental. That is divine realignment. Your health transformation will begin subtly. Not dramatic or not sudden, but deeply rooted. Your body has been listening to every word spoken over it for years, both positive and negative. Now, heaven is rewriting the script. Archangel Michael says your cells are responding to peace. Stress is being removed at the root. This is why rest will feel different. Sleep will feel deeper. Even your breathing will feel calmer. This is a sacred process. Do not rush it by comparing yourself to others. At the same time, wealth energy, divinely ordered provision, is moving toward you. But hear this carefully: it will not come through desperation. It will come through alignment. You will feel nudged to make certain decisions, to walk away from distractions, to focus on one thing instead of many. This narrowing is not loss. It is precision. Archangel Michael is guiding your steps so you do not waste strength or time. Some of you will feel an urge to clean your space, organize your finances, or simplify your routines. This is not random. When God prepares to increase you, He first removes chaos. Order invites overflow. Pay attention to these gentle instructions. Obedience in small things is unlocking large doors. Now hear this warning with love. Do not look for validation from people during this season. When you start feeling better, when your mindset improves, when opportunities begin to surface, there will be a temptation to explain, to hint, to test reactions. Resist that urge. Archangel Michael says silence is still your protection. The blessing is still forming its foundation. Premature exposure weakens what is still being built. There is also something being healed in your emotions. Old disappointments that you thought no longer mattered are being touched by God. This is why memories may surface unexpectedly, not to hurt you, but to release you. Let the tears come if they need to. Healing is not always comfortable, but it is always purposeful. Understand this, chosen one. Not everyone around you is meant to go where you are going. Some connections will naturally fade. Others will feel distant without conflict. Do not chase explanations. When God elevates you, He also rearranges your surroundings. This is mercy, not punishment. Archangel Michael is also strengthening your discernment. You will begin to sense when to speak and when to remain quiet, when to move and when to wait. This inner knowing will protect both your health and your wealth. Trust it. Do not override it with logic or fear. Now, as this message is reaching deeper layers of your spirit, there is something important I must ask of you, not as pressure, but as alignment. If this word is resonating with you, if you feel peace instead of confusion, make a simple act of agreement. Like this message so more chosen ones can find it. Share it with someone who needs encouragement without revealing your own blessing. Leave a comment, not to explain your situation, but to declare faith. And if you are not yet subscribed, this is your moment to stay connected, because these messages are not random, they are timely. Your engagement is not just support, it is participation. When you interact, you align yourself with the flow of this word, and it helps this message reach those who are silently praying for confirmation. Archangel Michael says momentum is building now. What started as a whisper is becoming movement. But movement requires consistency. Stay present. Stay receptive. Stay grounded. You may be wondering how long this process will take. Heaven does not operate on human impatience. Some results will appear quickly. Others will unfold steadily. Do not measure progress by speed. Measure it by peace. If peace is increasing, you are on the right path. Before this message continues deeper, let me say this clearly. What comes next will connect everything you are experiencing right now. Many miss it because they lose focus too early. Hold on. You will want to hear what Archangel Michael reveals next. It brings clarity that changes everything. My beloved one, this is where the message deepens, because Archangel Michael is now revealing why this blessing had to be hidden and what is being protected behind the silence. What you are stepping into is not ordinary increase. It is a covenant-level shift, and covenant blessings are always guarded before they are revealed. Archangel Michael says there has been unseen resistance around your destiny for a long time. Not because you are weak, but because what you carry is valuable. The enemy does not waste time attacking empty ground. The pressure you felt in past seasons, the unexplained delays, the sudden setbacks right when things seemed close, none of that was random. It was evidence that something precious was being formed inside you. And I'll hear this clearly. January 22nd did not just open a door, it sealed others permanently. Cycles of sickness, exhaustion, and emotional heaviness are being closed. Patterns of financial struggle that followed your family line are being interrupted. But sealing requires privacy. When something is sealed by heaven, it must not be tampered with by human opinion, doubt, or jealousy. Archangel Michael is showing that some people around you, without even realizing it, carry words that weaken rather than strengthen. They may love you, but they speak from fear. They question good news. They project past failures onto future promises. This is why silence is not rejection. It is preservation. Your body is responding to this protection. Stress hath been one of the greatest thieves of your health, and stress feeds on noise. Constant explaining, defending, or proving keeps the nervous system in survival mode. Heaven is quieting your environment so your body can finally heal at the root. This is divine intelligence at work. Wealth, too, is being guarded. Archangel Michael says your next level of provision requires clarity, focus, and confidence. Premature exposure invites comparison. Comparison invites doubt. Doubt disrupts flow. That is why this season is marked by discretion. When the time comes, your results will speak louder than any announcement ever could. There is also a spiritual inheritance being activated. Some of you are the first in your bloodline to walk this level of alignment with God. You are breaking silent agreements made through fear, lack, or survival. That kind of breakthrough always happens quietly first. Then, suddenly, everyone wonders how it happened so fast. Do not be surprised if you feel more selective with your words lately. This is not you becoming distant. This is you becoming discerning. Archangel Michael is sharpening your awareness. You are learning when to speak life and when to remain still. This wisdom will protect you long after this season passes. And now listen carefully to this next truth. There will come a moment soon when you are tempted to doubt whether anything is really changing, because the transformation is internal before it becomes visible. This is where faith is required. Faith is not loud confidence. It is quiet trust. Stay anchored. Archangel Michael says that heaven is watching how you steward this secret. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. Those who can guard a promise can be trusted with fulfillment. You are proving that now. As this message reaches its closing, there is a sacred activation here. This is not for everyone. This is for those who feel a calm certainty rising in their spirit right now. Type "I receive" in silence in the comments if this message is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 944 has just been released. As this divine secret is being guarded over your life, I feel led to speak directly to those whose hearts are burning right now. When you support this work, you are not supporting a channel. You are helping light reach souls who are still in darkness, waiting for a word like this. The Lord says, as you sow into good soil, I will cause rivers to rise where there was drought. This is not an ordinary act. This is a prophetic response. I am inviting you, yes, you, to become a carrier of this light through super thanks, membership, or PayPal, with a link placed in the description. What you release here becomes a seed that speaks for you before heaven. Do not delay obedience when the Spirit is nudging you. Sow now, and may your harvest be protected, multiplied, and announced by God Himself. My chosen one, now the atmosphere shifts again, because Archangel Michael is revealing what happens when the silence you are keeping begins to shape your future. This is the phase where many people unknowingly sabotage themselves, not by doing something wrong, but by failing to understand what God is doing beneath the surface. You are being invited into awareness so that nothing is lost. Archangel Michael says this season is not about speed. It is about stability. What God is forming in you must last. Health that comes too fast without inner alignment often collapses under pressure. Wealth that appears without wisdom often disappears the same way it came. That is why heaven is slowing certain things while accelerating others. From the outside, it may look like nothing major is happening. From the inside, everything is being rebuilt. You may notice that your reactions are changing. Situations that once drained you emotionally no longer have the same power. People who once triggered insecurity now feel distant, almost irrelevant. This is not numbness. This is healing. Your nervous system is learning safety again. Archangel Michael says when the soul feels safe, the body follows. This is one of the deepest forms of restoration. There is also a sharpening of focus happening. Distractions are losing their appeal. You are becoming more intentional with your time, your energy, and your thoughts. This is crucial because where you are going requires clarity. God does not bless confusion. He blesses order. And order begins in the mind. Some of you may experience moments of solitude, even when surrounded by people. Do not fear this. Solitude is where instruction becomes clear. Archangel Michael often speaks in stillness, not noise. When everything is loud, discernment becomes difficult. That is why heaven is drawing you inward before expanding you outward. Now hear this carefully. There will be subtle tests during this phase. Small opportunities to complain. Small invitations to gossip. Small moments where you could reveal more than you should. These are not accidents. They are checkpoints. Each time you choose restraint, you strengthen the protection around your blessing. Each time you choose wisdom over impulse, you move closer to fulfillment. Your health journey is also entering a phase of cooperation. God is doing his part, but he is inviting you to partner with him. You may feel guided to drink more water, rest more intentionally, or change small habits. These nudges are not random. Archangel Michael says obedience in these simple things will amplify the healing already in motion. Financially, seeds you planted long ago, effort, patience, learning, integrity, are beginning to shift beneath the soil. You may not see results yet, but the pressure underground is increasing. That pressure is what breaks the surface at the right time. Do not dig up the seed by doubting. Let it grow. Be mindful of comparison in this season. When you look at others who seem ahead, it can create unnecessary frustration. But their timeline is not your timeline. Your assignment is not your assignment. Archangel Michael says your path has been customized. What takes others years may come to you suddenly because you endured quietly. There is also an emotional maturity forming. You are learning that not every feeling needs a reaction. Not every thought needs a voice. This maturity is rare, and it is one of the reasons you were chosen for this level of blessing. God trusts you with depth. If you have felt moments of heaviness lifting without explanation, that is confirmation. If you have felt sudden calm after long stress, that is confirmation. If you have felt a quiet confidence replacing anxiety, that is confirmation. Heaven is not shouting right now. It is sealing. Archangel Michael says soon, very soon, there will be external confirmation. Something tangible. Something measurable. But until that moment arrives, your assignment is simple. Remain steady. Gratitude keeps the channel open. Discipline keeps the foundation strong. Silence keeps the blessing safe. Do not underestimate what is happening in this unseen phase. Many people only celebrate what is visible, but the invisible work determines whether the visible will last. You are being prepared for something that does not collapse under pressure. As this message continues, understand this. You are not waiting for your life to change. Your life is already changing. You are simply catching up to what heaven has already decided. Stay grounded. Stay faithful. Stay quiet. What Archangel Michael reveals next will bring a level of clarity that connects your past struggles with your future reward. My dear one, now Archangel Michael draws your attention to something many overlook, the moment when transformation becomes irreversible. This is the stage you are entering now. It is no longer about preparation alone. It is about embodiment. What God has been forming internally is beginning to anchor itself so deeply that it cannot be shaken by circumstances, opinions, or temporary delays. Archangel Michael says this is where identity is recalibrated. You are no longer asking who you are becoming. You are beginning to know. This knowing does not shout. It settles. It grounds you. It changes how you walk into rooms, how you handle pressure, how you respond to uncertainty. You may not even notice it at first, but others will. They will sense something different about you, even if they cannot explain it. Your health restoration is moving from healing to strengthening. Weakness is being replaced with resilience. Where your body once reacted to stress, it is now learning regulation. This is why you may feel moments of energy returning in waves rather than all at once. God is rebuilding you sustainably. Archangel Michael says you are not being restored just to feel better. You are being restored to carry more. Emotionally, boundaries are forming naturally. You are no longer absorbing what does not belong to you. Other people's fears, chaos, and projections are losing access to your inner world. This is a sign of maturity, not hardness. A guarded heart is not a closed heart. It is a wise one. There is also a shift in how you perceive time. Rushing feels uncomfortable now. Forcing outcomes feels heavy. You are learning to move with discernment instead of urgency. Archangel Michael says urgency often comes from fear, but discernment flows from trust. This shift alone will protect your future wealth and well-being. Financial alignment is also becoming clearer. You may suddenly see where you were leaking energy, money, or attention. This awareness is not meant to shame you. It is meant to free you. When God increases you, He first sharpens your stewardship. You are learning to value what you carry. Some of you will notice that certain desires are fading. Things you once wanted no longer excite you. This is not loss. This is refinement. God is removing appetites that would have distracted you from what truly fulfills you. Archangel Michael says when lesser desires fall away, greater purpose comes into focus. Do not be surprised if people from your past resurface during this phase. This often happens right before elevation. Old connections test whether you have truly outgrown old patterns. You are not required to revisit what God already healed. Closure does not always require conversation. Sometimes it requires resolve. Spiritually, your prayers are changing. You are asking less for rescue and more for alignment. Less for signs and more for strength. This is evidence of growth. Heaven responds quickly to prayers that come from maturity. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that the silence you have been keeping is producing authority. When you do speak, at the right time, your words will carry weight. People will listen. Opportunities will respond. This is because you learned restraint before expression. There may still be moments of doubt. This does not disqualify you. Doubt is not the absence of faith. It is often the doorway to deeper trust. When doubt arises, do not fight it aggressively. Acknowledge it, then return to what you know God has already done in you. Remember this truth: not all progress feels like movement. Some progress feels like stability. Feeling grounded, calm, and clear is not stagnation. It is strength. Archangel Michael says a tree does not rush its roots because it knows storms are coming. And storms may come, not to destroy you, but to reveal how anchored you have become. What once would have shaken you will now simply pass through. This is how you will know the transformation is real. You are closer than you think. Not to a finish line, but to a threshold. Beyond it is a life that feels lighter, steadier, and more abundant, not because everything is perfect, but because you are aligned. Remain patient. Remain faithful. Remain discerning. What is about to be revealed next will explain why everything had to unfold in this exact order. My beloved one, Archangel Michael is now drawing your attention to a critical turning point, a moment where inner preparation meets outer responsibility. This is the stage where many blessings either stabilize or scatter, depending on how the chosen one responds. What you do now matters, not in anxiety, but in awareness. You are entering a season where your choices carry more weight than before. Not because God is testing you harshly, but because you are stronger now. Archangel Michael says heaven does not increase responsibility until capacity has already been built. You are not being overwhelmed, you are being entrusted. One of the first things you may notice is a heightened sensitivity to alignment. Situations that are not right will feel uncomfortable faster. Conversations that carry hidden negativity will drain you quicker. Environments that once felt normal may now feel heavy. This is discernment sharpening. Do not override it to keep peace. True peace comes from alignment, not avoidance. Your health continues to stabilize at a deeper level. What once felt unpredictable is becoming consistent. Your body is learning rhythm again. Sleep, energy, appetite, focus. This is not accidental. Archangel Michael says when the soul feels safe, the body follows with obedience. Safety is being restored from the inside out. Financially, this is a season of intelligent restraint. You are learning when to move and when to wait. Impulsive decisions will feel off now, even if they look good on the surface. Trust that feeling. God is protecting you from short-term gain that could cost long-term stability. Wealth that lasts always begins with wisdom. There is also a quiet confidence forming in how you carry yourself. You no longer feel the need to explain your vision to people who cannot see it. You are becoming comfortable letting results speak later. This restraint is a sign of leadership maturity. Archangel Michael says leaders are formed in silence before they are recognized in public. Be aware that as your light stabilizes, attention may increase. Some people will be drawn to you for the wrong reasons: curiosity, comparison, or neediness. You are not required to pour into everyone. Steward your energy. Boundaries are not barriers, they are guardians. This phase also asks you to stay consistent even when motivation fluctuates. Feelings will come and go, but discipline keeps momentum alive. Small daily actions, done with intention, are doing more than you realize. Heaven honors consistency more than intensity. Now, pause for a moment and recognize something important. You are still here. You are still listening. That itself is a sign of commitment. If this message continues to speak to you, this is the moment to engage, not out of obligation, but alignment. Like this message so it reaches others who are quietly seeking clarity. Share it with someone who needs strength right now. Leave a comment as a declaration of faith, not explanation. And if you have not yet subscribed, this is your invitation to stay connected, because these messages are unfolding in sequence for a reason. Your interaction is not random. It signals readiness. When you participate, you position yourself within the flow of what God is releasing. Archangel Michael says momentum is sensitive in this season. What you feed grows. Feed faith, it's strengthened. Feed doubt, it multiplies. Choose intentionally what you consume. Conversations, content, thoughts. Protection is not just spiritual, it is practical. You may feel moments where the future feels close but undefined. This is normal. God rarely reveals the full picture all at once. He reveals enough to keep you moving without overwhelming you. Trust the portion you have been given. There will also be moments of temptation to rush the process, especially when you feel capable again. Resist that urge. Capability does not mean completion. Let God finish what He started. Archangel Michael says interruption delays fulfillment. If impatience arises, return to gratitude. Gratitude recalibrates perspective. It reminds the soul that progress is already happening. You are not behind. You are on schedule, heaven's schedule. Before this message continues further, understand this. What is coming next explains how to protect what you are about to receive when it becomes visible. Many miss this wisdom and regret it later. Hold steady. Stay present. What Archangel Michael reveals next will help you sustain everything God is about to place in your hands. My chosen one, Archangel Michael now speaks with great precision, because this phase is about protection after manifestation begins. Many people believe the greatest danger is before the blessing arrives, but heaven knows that the most delicate moment is when change becomes visible. This is where wisdom must rise higher than excitement. You are approaching a stage where signs will no longer be only internal. Subtle confirmations will start appearing in your external life. Improvements in health will become noticeable. Strength will feel more consistent. Others may comment on your energy, your clarity, or your presence. Financially, ideas will begin to show promise. Doors will open just enough to reveal possibility. This is not the full release yet, but it is the signal that the seed has broken the surface. Archangel Michael says this is where restraint becomes even more important. When blessings begin to show, the temptation to speak increases. Excitement wants expression, but wisdom still calls for discretion. Not everything that is visible needs to be explained. Some things are meant to be observed, not discussed. There is a spiritual law at work here. What is nurtured in peace grows strong. What is exposed to noise too early grows unstable. This is why you may feel an inner hesitation when asked questions about your life. You not force answers. You are allowed to keep things sacred. Your health during this phase requires gentleness. You are stronger, yes, but you are also recalibrating. Overexertion, whether physical or emotional, can create unnecessary setbacks. Archangel Michael says honor your limits without guilt. Rest is not weakness. Rest is cooperation with God. Emotionally, you are learning to separate compassion from responsibility. You can care without caring. You can love without rescuing. This distinction is protecting your peace. Many people drain themselves trying to be everything for everyone. That is not your assignment. Your assignment is stewardship of what God entrusted to you. Financial alignment is also entering a new layer. You may feel drawn to learning about management, strategy, or skill building. Follow that pull. Knowledge is part of protection. God does not increase resources without increasing understanding. This learning phase will prevent loss later. Be aware that jealousy does not always look like hostility. Sometimes it appears as subtle doubt, backhanded comments, or excessive curiosity. Archangel Michael says you do not need to confront this. Awareness alone is enough. Distance will happen naturally when you stay grounded. This is also a season where patience is tested in a new way. Not by lack, but by anticipation. Waiting while something good is forming can feel more difficult than waiting during hardship. But anticipation without discipline leads to premature action. Let timing mature. You may notice that your prayers feel calmer now. Less bleeding. More partnership. This is because you trust more deeply. Trust changes how heaven responds. When trust increases, God shares responsibility instead of simply giving instructions. Archangel Michael reminds you that not every opportunity is an assignment. As doors open, discern which ones align with your peace. Saying no to the wrong door protects the right one. Do not let fear of missing out push you into misalignment. There is also a strengthening of spiritual authority happening quietly. When you speak truth, even casually, it carries weight. People may listen differently. This authority was built in silence, not spotlight. Guard it. If you experience moments of doubt during this phase, do not panic. Doubt often visits right before confirmation. It is the mind adjusting to a new reality. Let doubt pass without entertaining it. Return to what you know God has already done. Remember this: you are not becoming someone else. You are becoming more fully yourself, the version God always intended, before fear and pressure interfered. This authenticity is what will sustain your blessings long term. Archangel Michael says storms may still come, but they will no longer uproot you. They will reveal your stability. What once knocked you down will now simply test your flexibility. You bend, but you do not break. As this message prepares to move forward, understand this clearly. The next phase is about legacy, not just what you receive, but how it impacts others through you. Many are blessed, but few are entrusted. You are being prepared for trust. Stay quiet where needed. Stay bold where required. Stay aligned above all else. What Archangel Michael reveals next will show you how your obedience in this season echoes far beyond what you can currently see. My beloved child, Archangel Michael now speaks with a tone of fulfillment and responsibility, because you are entering a phase where your blessing begins to ripple beyond you. This is no longer only about what God is doing for you, but what God will do through you. Many never reach this stage because they misuse earlier seasons. You, however, are still aligned, and heaven is taking notice. What is unfolding now is subtle influence. You may not feel like a leader, yet people are watching how you move, how you speak, how you remain calm where others panic. Your healing is becoming a testimony without words. Your stability is becoming instruction without preaching. Archangel Michael says this is how true impact begins, quietly, authentically, without performance. Your health continues to strengthen, but now it carries endurance. You are not just recovering, you are sustaining. This is important, because what is coming next requires consistency. God is not restoring you for a moment of celebration, but for a season of stewardship. Energy wasted on proving will be needed for building. Financially, this is where discernment becomes protection. Increase may not look dramatic yet, but flow is improving. Gaps are closing. Pressure is easing. Ideas are becoming clearer. Archangel Michael says this phase is about preparation for responsibility, not indulgence. You are learning how to handle more by being faithful with what is already in your hands. Be mindful of pride disguised as gratitude. Sometimes people say God did it but still feel superior inside. Heaven resists that spirit. Stay humble. Stay teachable. Gratitude with humility keeps the channel open. You have come this far because you listened, not because you boasted. There may be moments where you feel misunderstood. When you no longer operate in old patterns, people who benefited from your previous version may feel uncomfortable. This is not your burden to carry. Growth often disrupts familiar dynamics. Archangel Michael says, let change speak for itself. Emotionally, you are learning compassion without entanglement. You can see others' pain without absorbing it. This is a rare gift. It allows you to help without being drained. Protect this balance. Overextension is one of the fastest ways people lose what they prayed for. This is also a season of reinforcement. God is confirming lessons you already learned, not teaching entirely new ones. Repetition is not delay, it is reinforcement. What is reinforced becomes unshakable. You may notice an increased desire for meaning over excitement. Shallow things feel empty now. Purposeful actions feel satisfying. This shift is evidence of spiritual maturity. Archangel Michael says mature souls are entrusted with lasting blessings. As this message reaches its activation point, there is something sacred happening right now. This is a moment of seeing again, not from lack, but from overflow. Heaven is marking those who remain faithful through silence. Type I am sealed and steady in the comments if this message confirms what your spirit already knows. Blessing code 6183 has now been activated. As this blessing begins to overflow beyond you, I feel led to speak to those who know this message is bigger than one life. When you give, You are helping God place this light into the hands of souls who are still waiting in the dark. The Lord declares, "Whoever waters others will himself." You watered, and this word is alive right now. I am calling you, yes, you, to respond prophetically through super thanks, channel membership, or PayPal, with a link waiting in the description. This is not charity. This is covenant participation. What you sow today becomes oil for many lamps tomorrow. Act now. Obey the nudge, and may heaven remember your seed and reward you openly. Remain still. Remain grateful. Remain obedient. What comes next will reveal how this season becomes a foundation for years to come, not just a moment in time. My chosen one, Archangel Michael now turns your attention toward endurance, because this is the stage where stability becomes identity. Many people experience breakthrough, but only a few learn how to live inside it without losing themselves. What God is doing now is teaching you how to remain grounded while carrying increase. This phase may feel quieter than the earlier ones, but do not mistake quiet for inactivity. Heaven is establishing patterns. Your days are being shaped. Your responses are being refined. What once required effort is becoming natural. Peace is no longer something you chase. It is something you protect. This is a sign of true maturity. Your health has reached a new rhythm. Instead of fluctuating highs and lows, there is steadiness. You may still feel tired at times, but it no longer feels overwhelming. Your body is communicating clearly with you now. You know when to rest and when to move. Archangel Michael says this awareness is part of divine intelligence returning to you. Many ignore their bodies until breakdown forces them to listen. You are learning before crisis, and that is wisdom. Emotionally, you are becoming less reactive. Situations that once stirred anxiety now invite discernment instead. You pause before responding. You reflect before deciding. This pause is powerful. It is in this space that God speaks most clearly. Right decisions shrink blessings. Considered decisions expand them. Financially, this is a consolidation season. Not everything is about growth right now. Some things are about strengthening what already exists. Loose ends are being tied. Gaps are being noticed. You may feel led to organize, review, or reassess plans. This is not delay. This is reinforcement. Archangel Michael says what is strengthened now will support future expansion without collapse. There may be moments when you feel tempted to return to old habits, especially during stress. This is normal. Growth does not erase memory, but notice how different your response is now. You recognize the pattern before it controls you. That awareness alone proves how far you have come. This season also brings clarity about relationships. You are no longer confused about who drains you and who nourishes you. You may not act on every realization immediately, but you see clearly now. Clarity does not demand haste. It invites wisdom. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that maintenance is sacred. Many people chase new miracles while neglecting the one they already received. You are learning to tend what God gave you. This stewardship is rare, and heaven honors it. Do not be surprised if progress feels less dramatic now. Drama is not a requirement for destiny. Stability is often the greatest miracle of all. A calm mind, a regulated body, a focused purpose. These are signs of alignment that cannot be bought or forced. You may notice that your conversations are changing. You speak less but with more intention. You listen more. Silence no longer feels awkward. It feels powerful. Archangel Michael says those who are secure do not need to fill space with noise. There is also a deepening trust in timing. You are no longer desperate for immediate results. You understand that what unfolds gradually often lasts longer. This patience is not passive. It is active trust. If moments of boredom or restlessness arise, do not interpret them as failure. Sometimes the soul needs time to adjust to peace after long seasons of survival. Calm can feel unfamiliar at first. Let yourself acclimate. This phase is also about consistency in the unseen. Continue doing what aligns you, even when there is no applause. Heaven sees what people do not. Archangel Michael says the unseen work you maintain now is securing future ease. Remember, you are not meant to oppress anyone. You are meant to remain aligned. Comparison will try to creep in when life feels steady. Resist it. Your path is custom designed. As this message prepares to move forward again, understand this truth deeply. Stability is not the end of your journey. It is the platform from which greater responsibility will come. God builds platforms quietly. You are doing well. Better than you realize. What you once prayed to survive, you are now learning how to steward. Remain faithful in the ordinary. Remain disciplined in the quiet. Remain grateful in the steady. What Archangel Michael reveals next will show you how to recognize the next expansion when it arrives, without losing the balance you have worked so hard to build. My beloved one, Archangel Michael now speaks about recognition and restraint, because this is the phase where visibility begins to increase. What was once hidden is no longer completely unseen. Not because you announced it, but because fruit can no longer stay underground. This is a delicate season, and wisdom must walk ahead of excitement. You may notice that people are responding to you differently now. Conversations shift when you enter a room. Your words seem to land with more weight. Some will seek your opinion. Others will quietly observe you. This is not coincidence. This is influence forming. Archangel Michael says influence is not given for ego. It is given for responsibility. Your health during this time requires balance. You are stronger, yes, but strength must be managed. Overcommitment can undo progress if you are not careful. Learn to say no without explanation. You are not obligated to meet expectations that God did not assign to you. Preservation is just as holy as productivity. Emotionally, this is where confidence must stay rooted in humility. Confidence grounded in God is steady. Confidence grounded in approval is fragile. Stay anchored in truth, not reactions. Praise can be as distracting as criticism if it becomes your source. Financially, opportunities may begin to look more attractive now. Some will be aligned. Others will simply look impressive. Discernment is crucial. Archangel Michael says, do not confuse momentum with permission. Pray before agreeing. Peace will always confirm what logic alone cannot. There may be moments when you feel the urge to speed things up, especially when you see tangible progress. Resist rushing. Expansion that comes before structure often creates stress later. God is not late. He is precise. This is also effort because this is in spiritual discipline. Not more effort, but regular connection. Prayer, reflection, gratitude. These are not tools for crisis anymore. They are foundations for stewardship. What you maintain now will determine how much you can carry later. Be aware that not everyone who applauds you understands your journey. Some see results but not the cost. You do not need to educate them. Let your life speak. Silence continues to be your ally. Now pause for a moment. If this message continues to align with what you are living, this is the right time to engage intentionally. Like this message so it reaches others who are quietly walking a similar path. share it with someone who needs encouragement without exposure. Leave a comment as a simple declaration of faith. And if you have not yet subscribed, stay connected here, because what is unfolding is part of a larger sequence meant to be received together. Your engagement is not about numbers. It is about agreement. When you participate, you position yourself to remain aligned with what God is releasing through this message. There is also a subtle test in this season. It is the test of consistency when things feel better. Many seek God intensely in hardship, then drift when peace arrives. Archangel Michael warns against this gently. Stay connected, not out of fear, but gratitude. You may notice that your intuition is sharper now. Trust it. When something feels off, pause. When something feels right, proceed steadily. This inner guidance is a gift that must be honored. Comparison may attempt to return during this phase, especially when you see others advancing quickly. Remember, fast is not always faithful. What lasts is built with intention. You are not behind. You are established. If impatience whispers, remind yourself of how far you have come. Remember the chaos you survived. Remember the silence you endured. Stability is evidence of answered prayer. This phase is not about proving anything. It is about sustaining everything. Archangel Michael says those who can sustain are those who are trusted with more. As this message prepares to move forward again, understand this clearly. The next revelation is not about gaining. It is about safeguarding what is coming next. Many fail there. You are being prepared not to. Hold steady. Keep your focus. Remain grateful. Trust me, what unfolds next connects the promise to the future in a way that protects it long term. My chosen one, Archangel Michael, now speaks with gravity and reassurance, because this stage is about inheritance. Not what you gain temporarily, but what stays with you and multiplies beyond you. This is where many people misunderstand God's work. They think blessing is an event. Heaven sees blessing as a system, a way of living that sustains peace, health, and provision over time. You are now learning how to live without constant inner tension. For so long, survival mode shaped your decisions. You planned around fear, reacted to pressure, and prepared for disappointment even when things were going well. That mode is dissolving. Archangel Michael says this is one of the clearest signs that healing has taken root. When the mind no longer rehearses disaster, the future opens naturally. Your body reflects this shift. Healing is no longer something you hope for. It is something you maintain. You know your limits. You respect your energy. You no longer push yourself to prove worth. Strength guided by wisdom lasts longer than strength driven by fear. This balance is protecting your future. Emotionally, you are stepping into self-trust. You no longer second-guess every decision. You reflect, pray, and then move forward with calm confidence. Even when outcomes are uncertain, your inner world remains steady. This steadiness is rare. It is cultivated through obedience and patience, not personality. Financially, this phase brings clarity about value. You are no longer impressed by appearance alone. You evaluate substance. You ask better questions. You consider long-term impact instead of short-term reward. Archangel Michael says this discernment will prevent loss that others walk straight into. There may be moments when the past tries to reintroduce itself. Old fears, old narratives, old identities. This does not mean you are regressing. It means those things are losing relevance and making a final attempt to stay connected. Do not wrestle them. Simply do not invite them back in. This is also a season of internal leadership. You lead yourself well now. You do not need constant motivation. You rely on discipline and purpose. This self-leadership is what allows God to trust you with influence later. Those who cannot govern themselves cannot steward increase. Archangel Michael wants you to recognize how different your reactions are now compared to before. Where you once panicked, you now pause. Where you once chased answers, you now wait. Where you once over-explained, you now allow silence. These changes are not small. They are foundational. You may feel a growing sense of responsibility, not heavy, but sober. You understand that what you carry affects more than just you. Your peace influences others. Your stability creates safety for those around you. This awareness is part of your calling. Do not confuse this maturity with seriousness. Joy will return in new forms, deeper forms. Joy that is not dependent on circumstances. Archangel Michael says shallow happiness comes and goes, but deep joy stays even when life is quiet. This phase may feel less dramatic than earlier seasons, but it is far more powerful. Drama fades. Foundation remains. God builds foundations before He builds legacy. If you ever feel uncertain during this time, return to gratitude. Gratitude grounds you in reality instead of fear. It reminds you that you are already standing inside answered prayer. There will soon be a moment when you realize that what once felt impossible now feels normal. But realization is not loss of wonder. It is evidence of transformation. Heaven has normalized blessing in your life. You are not meant to constantly chase new confirmations. You are meant to live faithfully with what has already been confirmed. Archangel Michael says contentment does not stop growth. It stabilizes it. As this message nears its final movement, understand this deeply. You are not at the end. You are at the point where responsibility turns into legacy. What you carry will outlast seasons if you continue to steward it wisely. Remain humble. Remain attentive. Remain grounded. What comes next will seal everything you have received and show you how this divine secret becomes a lasting covering over your life. My beloved child, this is the sealing moment. Archangel Michael now stands firmly, not with warning, not with preparation, but with confirmation. What was whispered at the beginning is now established. What was protected in silence is now anchored in eternity. This is the stage where the divine secret no longer feels fragile because it has become part of who you are. You are no longer waiting for permission to live differently. You are living differently. Peace is no longer a visitor, it is a resident. Strength is no longer borrowed, it is rooted. Wealth is no longer something you chase, it is something that responds to alignment. Archangel Michael says this is the reward of obedience carried quietly over time. The reason this blessing had to be guarded was never because it was weak. It was because it was holy. Sacred things are never rushed. Sacred things are never exposed casually. Sacred things are entrusted only to those who know how to carry them without corruption. You have proven that. Your health now operates from awareness, not anxiety. You listen to your body without fear. You rest without guilt. You move with intention. This balance is divine. Many people are healed physically but remain broken in their patterns. You have been restored in layers. That is why this healing will last. Financially, you are no longer ruled by lack or impulse. You think clearly. You decide calmly. You see beyond the moment. Archangel Michael says this clarity will protect you from losses that others will not see coming. You will not need to announce your success. It will speak through stability. Emotionally, you are no longer easily shaken. You feel deeply, but you are not controlled by feelings. You care, but you are not consumed. You love, but you are not depleted. This emotional sovereignty is one of the greatest blessings heaven can give. Now understand this truth clearly. The secret you were told to keep was not meant to isolate you forever. It was meant to mature you. And now, when you do speak, when you do act, it will come from wisdom, not impulse. From discernment, not excitement. From authority, not insecurity. Archangel Michael says your life itself has become a covering. What once needed protection now provides protection. Others will feel safer around you. Calmer. Clear. This is influence without effort. Leadership without noise. There will still be challenges. That is life. But challenges will no longer define you. They will refine you. Storms may come, but they will not take you by surprise. You are anchored now. This is the fulfillment of the word spoken at the beginning. Healthy, rich, protected. Not just materially, but spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Now receive this final activation with reverence. Type IT is sealed forever in the comments if you receive this word fully. Blessing code 10,017 is now released over your life. And now, as this journey completes, hear this final invitation flowing directly from the Spirit. As this divine covering is sealed over your life, I am speaking to those who know this message was never just for them. When you support this work, you become a guardian of the secret for others who are still waiting for hope. The Lord says, "What you place in my hands, I will multiply and return with protection." I am calling you, now, to act as an obedient vessel through super thanks, channel membership, or PayPal, with the donation link placed in the description. This is not generosity, this is prophetic alignment. Do not hesitate when heaven is prompting you. Release your seed now, and may your giving rise as a memorial before God, bringing protection, increase, and peace to everything your hands touch. Remain steady. Remain humble. Remain covered. This divine secret is safe with you.